Hi guys, Jenna here. Matilda's gonna join me for this video and she's very excited about it apparently. Just got my hair did straight finally. I think I've had it like straightened 3 times, well, by me or salon, like 3 times since I had Matilda. I got a feather. I'm not sure I like it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, so I've been meaning to make this video for like about a month now. I wanted to do like the 6 months of breastfeeding kind of a thing, and Matilda like just turned 7 months. So I mean, we're all done with the halfway. So I wanted to do a video about that. So my journey with breastfeeding has been relatively smooth. I mean, I had my bumps and everything, and kind of weird bumps, but anyway, I'll start at the beginning. So when Matilda was born, like she was a few hours old, and I put her to my breast, and she did amazingly. Like the nurses were like, "Oh my goodness, she's like got everything perfect. Her lips are perfect. Her mouth is perfect." She knew what she was doing, and that was really, really great. So about 3 days into having her, and after having her, I guess, my milk came in, and I knew that she started swallowing, and you know all that stuff, and she was jaundiced. That's why we were in the hospital still. She was jaundiced and under some lights in my room, and after a while, they decided that she needed to go to the NICU for that, and she also had a UTI, and they said that was from being dehydrated and also from the jaundice. So she was in the NICU, and even though she was in the NICU, I still nursed her. They had like a parent suite kind of a thing off of the NICU, so they would come get me in the middle of the night when she was awake, and look at this guy. What's this guy? And then I would nurse her at the station, and every time that she needed me, I would come and nurse her. And actually, the NICU thought that was kind of weird. I don't know why, but I guess they thought since she was in the NICU, I would just give her formula. And even when they first moved her to the NICU, they said, "Your baby needs food, and you need to feed her." And I said, "Well, my milk's in. Like she is eating. I hear her swallowing." And they just thought I was lying or whatever. So let's get you a toy. Look at this ball. I said I told them, you know, I'll pump, whatever. So I got a pump, and I went to my room, and I pumped for like maybe 15 minutes, and they came back, and I had like a full, like almost 3 ounces. The bottle was like almost full, and they were so shocked, and anyway, they fed her that. So I'm really proud to say that she's never had formula. Not that there's anything wrong with formula, but that was a big goal for me, and I was happy with that. But, so in about month 1, everything was going fine, and then all of a sudden, she started to get really, really gassy, and she started to have green poops, like pea green, and I was like, I knew right away that there was something wrong. The health, you're so happy. The health nurse told me that that can be a sign of formula milk, too much formula milk, and then I watched Joel Poll, her videos, and she was saying something about having a fast letdown and a hind milk and fore milk, and I know all about that. So I had learned a little bit about it, and I realized that I was having a problem with a fore milk, high milk imbalance, and I actually had an oversupply problem as well. When I was in the NICU, I was feeding her and then also pumping, so that, because she was so dehydrated and weak, that I would get so much she would get so much from my breast, and then she would be bottle fed the rest, because she just had no energy to suck. So I was doing that right after I would feed her, I would pump, and then we'd save that. And so from doing that, I feel like I got like way too much milk. So trying to even that out and everything going along, I think it kind of screwed things up. And I might have had that problem to begin with, but I feel like that didn't really help. Also, some information I got at the hospital really didn't help. They were telling me I should feed 15 minutes on each side, where I know now I should feed until one side is empty and then go to the other side. And I wasn't doing that either. So I was just trying to get her like the same amount on each side. And I have a really fast letdown. So if I fed her on one side and it was only like 10 minutes, she was done on that side. But I felt like, oh no, I have to do 10 minutes on the other side, or if she nursed for a complete 15 minutes, then I had to do 7 on each side, kind of a thing. And so anyway, I had some poor information, and that didn't really help me. But so I had this problem with the formilk and high milk imbalance and this oversupply. So I was trying to get that fixed. So I had to do a lot of pumping and dumping. And so I would pump off, especially in the morning, I would pump off one breast and throw all of it away. And then throughout feedings, I would also try and just pump and throw away the first little amount. And then I tried, that didn't work completely, so then I tried pumping off the first one and then keeping her on one breast for like 8 hours and then switching to the other breast. Like, keep feeding her on the same side for that long. And it came down to, I think, I keep her on the same one for 2 feedings. I think that's what I remember doing, is keeping her on this breast for 2 and then this breast for 2. And that seemed to work. But then after a while, it didn't work anymore, and I started to get a low supply. It seemed like my supply was dropping off. So then I had to go back to nursing her only on one side for each feeding, and only pump and dump in the morning. So after all of this, it just seemed like I was always fighting an uphill battle with it. It wasn't my latch. It wasn't any sort of soreness or cracking or bleeding or anything. It was my milk. It just wasn't coming in the way that it should come in. So I actually had quite a bit of help, and I had the lactation consultant come out. Most of the time I had it figured out by the time she got here. But what's going on? You need more toys? So that was nice to have the lactation consultant. Plus, my mom also breastfed, so I could ask her some questions. But even there, she had no idea what I was talking about. Formula, high milk, anything. So when I had my supply problem, like when I had a low supply, then I would have to go on like a pumping regimen. So like I would feed her on one side, and then I would pump for 10 minutes after and have nothing coming out. But then I would do that at every single feeding, and I'd have to do that for about 2 days, and then my supply would be back. I also did like some fenugreek supplements, and then I even did like Health Nurse said have a beer. I tried it, but I felt like the pumping regimen really helped. And it would only take like 1 or 2 days. So, I mean, I've had to do that 2 or 3 times because my supply has gone down, and it seems to work in about a day. So that's how I kind of helped my supply come back up. Every time that I think it would fix itself, or I would fix it, it just seemed like I would lose it again, and it wasn't right again. But I kept at it, and so now we aren't pumping and dumping at all, and we are just feeding on one side each feeding, and everything seems to be going a lot better now that she's older. Now that she can eat more, I feel like. She's eating, the milk seems to have evened out a little bit. I mean, I've tried so many different things from the formula high milk imbalance, and then all of a sudden it was an oversupply to all of a sudden no supply, and trying to sorry, my dogs are like arguing back there. I don't know what's going on. My dog sounds like one of those little wind-up dogs, but yeah. Anyway, so it was really frustrating for me. I mean, I wanted it to work. Like, I wanted it to work more than anyone I've ever met had wanted it to work. It was a huge thing for me to be able to breastfeed, and it was easy in a sense that I could get her on, and that was it. I mean, I never once had cracking. I never once had dryness. I maybe used like for 2 days used some sort of a cream. I really had no problems with that, and because I never had a latch problem. And the only reason I ever used the cream was because of pumping. I pumped like a crazy person at that hospital, and that I hated it. I hated pumping because it hurt so much. But that was the only time I've ever used a cream. But other than that, I mean, I hear so many. What are you doing? I hear so many mamas go on about latch problems and all that, but for me it really was the supply, and it was like, how is too much milk a problem? Well, it is. It really is, as strange as it sounds. What are you doing down there? So yeah, now I think that we've figured it out, and we're doing good. I think with what I've learned along the way was that I really needed to listen to like myself, and know that maybe the nurse telling me that I had to pump the same amount on each side so my boobs wouldn't get bigger than the other really wasn't the way to go. And why are you so mad? Okay, I'll put you on the floor. So I think I wouldn't have listened to that kind of information. Maybe listen more to myself, like I said, and I would have not tried so hard to get my supply up, because I was like reading all of these things online of girls who lost their supply or their supply, their milk didn't come in or whatever it was, and I didn't want to be one of those people. And fortunate enough for me, I'm one of those people who has too much. So I'm not sure if that pumping at the hospital did anything and made any sort of a difference on my oversupply, but I feel like I wouldn't have done that, that's for sure. But yeah, so like I was saying, right now it seems to be really good, and I hope that she stays. Pearl, leave Matilda alone. I hope that she continues to nurse until she's fully done, and she makes that decision. I self-weaned at 11 months old, and I mean that's not quite as long as some of the crunchy mamas out there, but it definitely is longer than most people would, like, I mean, society would be nursing for. But I hope that she goes at least to a year. I actually had someone ask me the other day, actually it was my father-in-law, asked me the other day when I was feeding her baby food, that asking when am I gonna stop nursing, and I just looked at him like he had two heads, like, why would I stop nursing? It's easy. It's easy for me to do now, but it's also easy in the fact that I don't have to worry about bottles. I don't have to sit there with her. Oh, baby. I don't have to sit there and let her cry for so long while I'm off warming a bottle or fixing a bottle. I don't have to worry in the summer about keeping my bottles cold or anything like that. So anyways, why would I stop? Why would I stop breastfeeding? That's crazy talk. So anyways, thank you for watching. And Matilda's cranky, so we're gonna go. Bye!